Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published so they can inform and educate their consumers, grow their practices, and to leave a legacy. We're doing a series of spotlights on remarkable attorneys across the country with a focus on elder law and or estate planning. And joining me on this segment from California is Jack Stevens. Jack, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you.
I know it's a broad topic, so please tell us a little bit about your areas of focus and specifically the types of clients that you like to help.
Basically, it's estate planning practice. I began in elder law and I developed it into a broader area of estate planning. I concentrate mainly with families and developing all types of trusts, including special needs trusts for disabled beneficiaries, IRA trusts for retirement funds. I do protective inheritance trust provisions to protect the inheritances for children from lawsuit, divorce, creditor claims. So I've kind of branched out in my estate planning. And of course, we do the estate tax trust, capital gains tax trust, things of that nature to limit or reduce taxes.
I've been eager to get this subject out there because of the lack of knowledge. It seems to be that this recent pandemic's really put a spotlight on the fact that people don't know enough that they need to know about getting their legal house in order. And you mentioned terms like, trust, and I know terms like probate. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of define what a trust is for and what it helps people with? What are the benefits?
Of course. A trust is a contract. It's a contract among the creator and the trustee. In California, you may be the creator of the trust, the trustee of the trust, and the beneficiary of the trust, all three. It's designed to avoid court intervention in your financial affairs. For instance, if you became incapacitated, if you have your assets or funds in the trust, you name a successor trustee to handle those matters rather than have a court appoint someone through a conservatorship. And then on your demise, your assets or funds are distributed to your beneficiaries by your successor trustee rather than going through a court process called probate that incidentally takes about 1.5 years in San Diego to get through. And it's all done through court formalities with statutory fees attached. So we want to avoid all of that, use our private contract, the trust, to disseminate all the funds, assets, real properties, et cetera, on the death of the creator.
Wow, there's a lot that people need to know. And I thank you for that clarity on trust. Now, that brings up a thought. Like the old school thinking was sort of like, oh, I've got a will. That should be enough, shouldn't it? Can you speak to that? Because I believe that that's not quite right.
It's not. Wills are designed for probate. And so people have come to the office many times and said, I have a will, so nothing's going through probate. Well, unfortunately, that's exactly what probate is for, or wills. So, and we've also seen attorneys that put trusts in wills called testamentary trust. That's going through probate too. Our trust should be set aside, standalone, separate documents. And those will keep your assets out of the probate process. But a will, whether it's written by yourself, known as a holographic will, or if you create a will through an attorney or online, you're headed for probate on your death, or at least your heirs are. And it's a very frustrating experience for many.
And so the solution for that is to figure out a trust and work with someone on that.
Exactly, yes.
So, besides that misconception or myth, are there any other really big glaring myths or misconceptions that you've heard out there?
Yeah, we often hear trust can only do one thing, avoid probate, and that is not true. We use our living trust not only to avoid probate at death, conservatorship, should the creator become incapacitated, but also to reduce federal estate tax, capital gains tax. I use it, I got a copyright on transferring inheritances from parents to children with asset protection. We call those protective inheritance trust provisions. And I implement all those provisions in the trust. Also, we have provisions if there are issues regarding Medicaid, as you know it in Illinois, Medi-Cal in California. We put those provisions in if an estate has been reduced down because of serious illness. We have protection in the trust for those purposes too. So there's many facets to the trust that a lot of people are not aware of and would not be aware of unless they discuss that with a knowledgeable attorney.
Jack, what inspired you to focus on this area of elder law and expand it into full estate planning? How did you get started in this field?
Formerly, I was a litigator. As a trial attorney in Houston, I came to San Diego and transcended into estate planning because many people retire out here. I wanted to get into a practice of helping families. It's the personal needs that I enjoy the most. Solving the problems among siblings who may be in rivalry, or if there's discord in the families. Getting the family organized with their finances is one of the premier objectives of creating trust. So, and for me, that is my forte, and that's something that I truly enjoy doing, is working with the families, blended families especially, because they need help, especially when we have children come in from different parents.
Oh, that does sound complicated, or it can be. So, yes. Jack, for folks listening now who are in areas that you can serve, can you clarify those areas and tell us how they can find you, connect with you, and learn more?
Sure. Well, it's simply my website is jackstevens.com. Stevens is spelled with a PH. That provides many of the articles that I've written over the years, many of the blogs. It also allows people to see what we do. There are various areas and goes into description of the types of trusts, as I've mentioned, special needs trust for disabled, IRA trust for retirement, our AB trust, ABC trust, that's for estate tax, more technical trust, powers of attorney that you need, the durable powers for financial, durable powers for health. All those are on the website. And I feel it's important that clients become and get to know, if you're going to meet with an attorney, learn something about their background and their credentials. As an AV preeminent attorney, which is something I've been certified for many years, that lends credibility to all the legal services we provide.
Jack, this has been terrific, and I really appreciate your great insights on the topic. Thank you so much for taking the time and sharing with my audience today, and I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Thank you, Mark. I've enjoyed being on your show, and good luck in the future to you.
That was Jack Stevens, and this segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published so they can educate their consumers, grow their practices, and leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.